All right, we're back.
We're back.
We're
All
live.
right, welcome. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful Friday afternoon here in
Yeah.
Brandon, Florida. The sun is out. There's a little chill in the air. The
Yep.
Nativity Carnival is up and running after 2, maybe 3 years of being down because of COVID. The
Nice.
beer tent will be in full force and effect tonight. You can find me there at some time around 7 o'clock on.
And where's that at?
Nativity Carnival, Nativity Church, right on the
Okay.
corner of like Kingsway and 60.
Got you.
The November Fest has been going on for as long as I can remember. When I was little, it was every year this time of month, November. It's an event to raise money for the church, and but COVID put the kibosh on it for at least 2 years, maybe three.
Yeah.
But I know probably 2020 and 2021. This is 22, so 2 years. But I actually drove by the other day, and you'd be surprised how much they can cram into this one little spot to make it a pretty cool carnival. Now, I will
Interesting.
tell you, half of the whole carnival is the beer tent where they have food and they
Of
have
course it is.
shows and music
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all kind of karate exhibits. So it's pretty cool if you've never been.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice little carnival. The kids have a great time. It's family friendly, so it goes, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I highly recommend you go.
Cool.
Next is, if you look, Jason's lighting is a little off today.
Yes.
God bless
Yeah.
him. He's a real trooper. He's got Crystal has some medical family issues up in Georgia. And Jason's there, of course, with total support to Crystal and her family. But
Thank you.
again, real trooper. Like I said, the show
We're still
must
making
go
it
on.
happen.
Say
Yeah.
again?
I said we're still making it happen.
Still making it happen.
We're live.
I want to
Yeah.
say thank you, and again, shout
Yeah,
out
man.
to Crystal with prayers, everybody, and
Thank
hopefully
you.
things will work out. I'm not going to get into their family medical business, but just
Yeah. Thank you.
prayers one way or the other, and
They're needed. Thank you.
Lord will take care of the rest. I will be done, so to speak. All right,
That's
so
right.
Jason,
That's
here's the
right.
deal.
Okay.
I have my Florida Law Weekly that I read
Okay.
on a regular basis, literally weekly, and I came across a case that really isn't in my wheelhouse, meaning it's not
Okay.
something we do here at Read and Read, personal injury, but I thought it was interesting, and so I read the highlight, and I'll go through it. So give me a few minutes, and
Sure.
it says child custody was the topic, and it says
Okay.
unmarried same-sex couple.
Okay.
And then it says mediation agreement. All right, so that was the topic. I'm like, well, let me read this.
Huh.
And then, so let me go with the facts. So what happened, and I'm going to call it, because the names can get tricky, I'm going to call it baby mama, which is, sad, but, and non-baby mama.
So one of them is the biological mother.
Yeah, one is the biological mother
Okay.
of this same-sex couple, two women.
Okay.
And the other is not.
Understood.
All
Okay.
right, so interesting though, I have to go. So the biological mother lived with her, non-biological girlfriend, wife. They weren't married, so let's just call it girlfriend.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
they were not married, and that's important for the case.
Okay.
They lived together in love and so forth and so on, and they decide to have kids. So the first child, believe it or not, is the brother of the non-baby mama impregnates baby mama. So I thought that was interesting. So
Okay.
the brother is the donor, and so they have child number one.
Okay.
Then they have another.
So that
child.
I feel like that was a key detail that they did.
It
They
actually
decided
wasn't.
to have the child.
Yeah.
No, they decided to have the child after being together.
Well, they decided to have a child
Okay.
after being
So she
together.
didn't have this child before entering
Correct.
the relationship. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And they ultimately had another child a few years later.
Understood. Okay.
By a friend, a mutual friend of the couple, which I'm sure is not unusual. So
Okay.
anyway, we got two children. Baby mama and non-baby mama are not married,
Okay.
and of course, non-baby mama did not adopt either of the two children.
Okay.
So really what you have is two people living together.
So she didn't go through the legal processes of adopting the child.
Right. You have two people living together.
Okay.
And one person gets pregnant during the process, but of course it's two women, so it's not like the father, so to speak, was the biological father.
Understood. Yeah.
But they go and they have a rocky relationship that ultimately ends at some point. And so they decide to raise the children, with visitation, child support, and things of that nature. And they enter into a mediation agreement to do so.
Okay.
That lays out the terms.
Okay.
All right, with me so far?
I am, yes.
All right. So that goes on for a period of time, either months or years, but something occurs such that the baby mama, which is the biological mother of the two children, doesn't want non-baby mama to have anything to do with them anymore.
Okay.
I can only speculate as to what happened, but typically things like that occur when somebody else comes into the relationship,
right,
or things of that nature. But who knows? It could be there could be criminal issues, but
understood.
Either way, although there's a mediation settlement agreement in place, and they've non-baby mama's been paying the child support and visitation has been happening.
Okay.
Baby mama cuts it off. And so non-baby mama files a lawsuit in the circuit court to establish her parental rights under the mediation agreement.
Okay.
All right. So
so what's the question for I know you're gonna hit me with one.
Well, the trial court, pursuant to the mediation agreement, enforced it and said that the non-baby mama has the right to visitation. Because A, of the mediation agreement, and B, because the baby mama. Well, let me just stop there for now. At issue in the appeal is whether the trial court erred by enforcing the mediation agreement.
That's the question
that
you're asking me? Okay. Did the trial court err in enforcing the mediation agreement?
So they have a mediation agreement, which is basically a contract.
Right.
And
we talked about precedents last week, right? And you were saying, there's a precedent.
Well, this is different because, once again, these issues.
Well, they had a prior agreement, right? So would that serve? My question is, would that serve as a precedent, having a prior agreement, established terms?
Well, what you're saying, it wouldn't be precedent. It would be, we entered into a contract, and now the mother of the children biologically has breached that contract.
Right. Yeah.
So it's more a mediation agreement. It's more of a contract issue.
So I understand. So there's not necessarily establishing parental rights, but it's saying that it's a violation of contract.
Well, it's both. It's establishing parental rights. But here, let me keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the biological mother contends the mediation visitation rights are unenforceable under the state's constitutional privacy clause. So what the baby mama or the biological mother is saying, look, regardless of the fact that we entered into this mediation agreement, under Florida's privacy clause, I have the right to exclude or prevent, the non-baby mama from visitation.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that was the argument. The one argument was, look, we entered into basically a contract. Mediation agreement to parent the children. The other one says, well,
I have a valid reason
mediation agreement is unenforceable because under the state's constitution, I have, under the privacy clause, I have the sole right to determine visitation or who gets to see my kids or not.
Yeah, I'm undecided. I don't know enough, admittedly, about contract law or family law to know
That's fine.
how to answer that.
Well, here I'll keep going. So
But I can
now,
guess if you want to make me look like I'm stupid.
well, yeah, well, yeah, you can guess. I mean,
Yeah,
what do you think?
I would think no. I would think that she wouldn't be able to establish parental rights. That's what I would
Right.
think.
Well, the dispositive questions, meaning that the question before the appeals court, as the trial court recognized, is which is a legal question, is as a non-parent, do you have a legally enforceable right to for visitation under Florida law? That was the question, and the
Mm-hmm.
answer is you are right. No, you don't.
Yeah.
It says a co-parenting agreement between a biological parent and a non-parent is not enforceable under Florida law.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was talking with someone recently. Another one of my clients is a estate planning attorney, and the issue it's not the exact same, but it came up with grandparents whenever one of the spouses one of the biological parents dies, and the biological parent remarries to someone else, and the
Yeah.
person that they remarried legally adopts the child, then it breaks the biological line to the grandparents, especially for inheritance purposes. And I didn't know that, so it has to be established through a will. Now that's not necessarily family law, but it introduced me to a concept that I was like,
all that.
that's
Remember,
foreign
when
to
you
me.
adopt legal, well, when you adopt someone, that changes things. And if they had
Mm-hmm.
been married at the time, that changed things.
Mm-hmm.
This was they were not married, and
Right.
there was no adoption because
Right.
what this
Right.
says is the Florida Supreme Court expressly approved holding that a lesbian partner who was the birth mother had parental rights protected by the Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
prevailed over the claims of a partner who was neither the biological nor legal mother, even though the couple clearly intended to raise the children together.
Yeah.
So they weren't married and there was no adoption.
Right.
And so that
Yeah.
was, and again, I was, and even though there was a mediation agreement, which is a contract, that wasn't enforceable. Under
Yeah.
the grandparents, that's been, I think that was in the 90s where the grandparents, I believe, of their deceased son, at some point was able to, have visitation. Then the biological mother said, for whatever reason, something went south and stopped
Yeah.
the visitation.
Sure. They
They
don't like each other.
sued,
I don't know.
the grandparents sued, and the Supreme Court of Florida says, I'm sorry, but you don't have the legal right under the privacy clause to visitation.
It's very
Now,
interesting.
there's the DeSantis, believe it or not, signed a law recently, and it basically has a few exceptions where if there's a criminal issue that leads to harm of the children, then maybe like I said, a very few exceptions.
So
But
Florida has a very strong protection of biological parenthood.
well, they have a very strong privacy clause under our state
Okay.
constitution.
Okay.
And which which is what, and I'm not going to go into, but that's what the abortion what is it pro-choice people, right? Pro-choice people, they will use or are going to use the privacy clause under the Florida Constitution versus the Roe versus Wade overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court to say that women in Florida have a right to abortion. So they will use
Interesting.
Florida's constitution to try to establish the right to abortion versus the United States Supreme Court's United States Supreme Court's ruling under the U.S. Constitution saying, no, you don't.
Interesting.
So remember, which is important, state constitutions can provide more rights than the U.S. Constitution. So meaning
Right.
like example, search
Right.
and seizure. Search and seizure under the federal U.S. Constitution, boy, it's a free for all. You can you can do a lot under search and seizure at the federal level that you theoretically can't do at some state levels because their search and seizure laws are more stringent. In that regard,
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, and this was when I either just got out of law school, might have even still been in law school, how long it goes, our Fourth Amendment rights were interpreted to be more strict than the U.S. Constitution. So what our legislature did was say, look, it's called lockstep. Whatever the U.S. Supreme Court search and seizure rulings are, that's what Florida's are. So now our search and seizure laws under the Fourth Amendment are the same as the United States Constitution. They used to provide more protections, and people were getting cases dismissed or evidence dismissed and this, that, and our legislature said, enough's enough. We're going to go with the more lenient or the less strict U.S. Constitution because we can get more people. So that's why the privacy clause in the state of Florida, people argue, is provides more protections than the U.S. Constitution and the federal law. That's the argument. Whatever happens there, they'll make the argument. But interestingly enough, I was kind of surprised, and I don't know, because it's like anything. People go about their lives. You're in love. These people weren't married for whatever reason, and they're going to raise kids, and life is good. Then something goes south, and things fall apart. Yeah, and so I'm assuming the non-biological mother, which I kind of thought might have been possible that, well, regardless of that, we entered into a contract, this mediation settlement agreement, and then, so that should be upheld. And they said, nah, because understand this, you can't enter into a non-enforceable contract. You can't enter into, not that this was illegal, but you can't enter into an illegal contract and then try to have the court enforce it.
Right.
And Jason, I'm going to give you $10,000 if you go and deface billboards for me. You go and deface.
I'm not going to do that.
No, you go and deface the billboard. And then I don't pay you. And you go, hey, I'm going to sue you. And I say, look, we can't enter into an agreement to commit a crime.
Yeah. I wonder though if I don't know the circumstances, but the biological father, the donor, the brother, I wonder if there's an avenue through him for the other party to get.
I don't do this, but let's just walk that back. People have surrogate mother,
surrogacy.
But
they have to sign away.
You and I, we may pay somebody on the flip flop, some woman, to bear our child. If let's say we're two male gay couples and we want a baby, and so we donate. One of us donates this, that, and the other. My understanding on that one is I'm sure there's a contract
somewhere
that you have to enter and say, look. You're going to either carry our baby, or yes, you're going to be the donor.
You're probably right.
You have no legal rights to this child once it's born.
But I mean, you're assuming everyone did their due diligence, and I guess I'm like, I wonder if someone didn't do their due diligence, and there's an opening.
Well, here's the deal. This would be a slam dunk because the non-biological would just say, hey, brother, go get custody and visitation, and I can see my child. So obviously, that since that never came up in here,
then it probably
that would have been easy. If they if the donor had that legal right because he's quote unquote the father, then we wouldn't be here. So obviously, in my opinion, that's probably not how it works.
Most likely.
Because
so it's a dumb question then.
You would be taking a great risk, for the donors, surrogates, and all those. So, my guess is, especially these rich.
And didn't you say something on one of our previous podcasts about minors, the parents being responsible for damages to the minors?
What the hell does that got to do with this case?
Well, like if you have a kid floating around out there somewhere that you're responsible for because you didn't sign it away.
Kids floating around out there. Well, all right, so Jason's in Georgia, so up in Georgia, evidently you think differently just by crossing the state line.
No.
So I don't know about kids floating around up there and around here, but
no.
Our subject was unmarried same-sex couples.
That's right.
Whether or not the non-biological parent has any legal rights if you're not married and you didn't adopt.
Right.
So the answer is no.
No.
And I guess then what would be the wise choice for same-sex couples is the non-biological or to adopt the child.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that would be how
seems
you would
an important
this
step to the path forward. Yeah.
Yeah, is adopt them. Or be married at the time that the child's born. But even that, I would still, even if we were married,
it would still have to be argued.
I would still adopt the child.
Yeah, right.
Period, because I could see where that argument would, well, yes, we were married, but now we're not married, and she's not the biological parent.
It's not as ironclad.
I could see that where there could be problems. You do away with all that by a simple
legally adopting. Yeah. That makes sense.
And
that
you're
makes
in
sense.
love. No one's going to disagree. We're all happy. Papers are signed. Lawyer paid. Probably not a boatload of money, and we're done with that issue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, again, not my area of law, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, this has been an interesting one.
Yeah. Other than that, let's see. It's again, I'll be at the Nativity Carnival. Oh, shout out. Michelle Day, happy birthday. Hey, Grandma, how old are you? 52.
Oh, she's young. That's great.
Yeah, I know, huh?
That's great.
52
also,
years young, Michelle Day, happy birthday.
Look what I've got here.
The 20th, which is Sunday. So again, happy birthday, Michelle.
I've got a copy of your book in my hands. I know you can't see me.
No, I can't see you.
It's the one Crystal's finishing up, going through the notes to do all the finalizing for. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I told her, look, you're with the family. We'll get the book out when we get the book out.
Yeah. She. It's good to have something to keep her mind busy, though. Yeah.
The other side of the law, baby.
Yeah, man.
Coming to a bookstore and online to you.
Yeah.
And look. Where's little Millie made an appearance.
Little Millie
right there.
Yeah.
And little Millie's right back there on the floor sleeping. I don't know.
Did she tell you that
look, there's little Millie.
Did Crystal tell you that the hardback proof came in?
Yeah, she said it looked pretty good.
It's sexy. They're hella expensive to make.
I know, that's what sucks.
But it is so
I'll just have to
good looking, man. I can't wait to drop it off to you and let you see it.
Yeah.
So
we'll figure it out. But yeah, I mean,
it
gets to the point where they're it's just too much. But
what we might do is we might just order
birthdays, whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might order like a select amount of them personally, and then have you sign them and like send them out.
We may have some kind of online contest.
Yeah, because they're quite expensive, man.
Oh, I know, but whatever. Yeah, I agree.
But they look great.
Maybe like during these podcasts, if someone answers the question or sends something, or
that'd be cool.
If you watch it,
that'd be cool.
We'll pick a name out of a hat and send it to them or something.
Yeah, because they look so good. The hard copies look real good. Yeah.
All right.
I didn't think they were gonna look that good. So they came out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. All right.
Yeah.
Enough about my book. Go ahead and any last words?
No, just thank you for the thoughts and prayers, and you guys have a great weekend.
Church on Sunday, low prayer for Jason and Crystal up in Georgia dealing with some family issues.
Thank you.
And let's see. Oh no, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving's coming up. Yep.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's Thursday, so
so we're not going to do it live. Yeah,
we will not
Friday.
be on the air next Friday. Okay,
right.
So yes, well then
happy Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Be safe. Show the love to the family.
Yeah.
And okay. Well, that's good one. I forgot. Next Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh.
Where did 2022 go?
Jason, take us out.
I got you.